Adam from Stockwell Safety here. Now, you might be thinking that now that the exam is over and done with, that the project is going to be nice and easy in comparison, but I want you to consider this video as your fair warning that this is definitely not the case. It is true that before NEBOSH made their latest raft of changes to this particular qualification, the practical project was regarded as being easier, with good reason, because when you looked at the pass rates, they were always consistently much higher than they were for the exams. There used to be 2 exams and 1 practical project, and when you looked at the percentage of people who passed and the scores that they got, it was clear that the project, the practical element, was always much higher. And to be fair, it was much easier than it is now. Everything's changed now. Before, you got a percentage score on the project similar to the exams, but now there's no percentage score, so you either pass or fail. So how could you fail? Now, this is going to sound extreme, but you can fail by making 1 mistake. By that, I don't mean that there's one particular thing or mistake that you need to be on the lookout for and make sure you don't make. I mean literally that if you make 1 mistake or error or omission, then you definitely run the risk of failing this part of the qualification and you'll have to resubmit your work again. I'll give you an example of that. This document you can download from the NEBOSH website. It's the guidance and information about the Unit 2 risk assessment. I'm going to go to page 8 just to pick out an example I want to go through with you. It's got here on page 8 an important note. It says, please ensure that all columns are completed with realistic information. If you have nothing to include, for example under additional controls/actions, please put NA or similar, i.e. not applicable. Do not leave the column blank. The NG2 example on the NEBOSH website shows examples of where NA or similar must be used. So we had a recent learner that had to resubmit their entire NG2 again, and it turned out that there was only 1 mistake that they'd made on their submission, and that was that they had left a blank column. There were no other things that they needed to change. They just had to write not applicable and then submit their work all over again. That gives you an example of the type of stringency that NEBOSH are applying to this. Is it right that they should be so stringent? Well, to be honest with you, that's completely irrelevant. Whether the rightness or wrongness of it, or whether it's appropriate, irrelevant. Irrelevant to what matters anyway, and what matters is your success in achieving this qualification. That's all that matters. So that being said, you need to do what you need to do to get this qualification. After you've got the qualification under your belt, then you can philosophize all day about the rightness or wrongness of NEBOSH's approach, but I would imagine that you're not going to be interested in doing that once you've got the qualification. My strong recommendation is that you use a checklist with your NG2. So here I've got an example of the NEBOSH checklist. They used to have this on their website that you could download, but they've taken that off when I looked last, but we'll have a copy of it linked in the description. So it's a simple checklist, but I just want to point out a couple of things about it to be on your guard with. You need to go through this checklist with a fine-tooth comb and obviously put ticks in the boxes as you go, but be particularly careful with lines that have got more than one thing in. So here, for example, we've got the general description includes products manufactured / services offered, types of activities, shift patterns. So really that could be 3 things or 4 things if you're including the general description, and then making sure that the general description includes products manufactured, services offered. That could be a separate line. Types of activities, that could be a separate line. Shift patterns, and that could be a separate line. But on the check sheet, it's just got it as 1 line. But do be aware that all 3 of these things need to be included in your description in your general description. So for example, your shift patterns, you might be thinking, well, we don't do shift patterns. You know, we're 9 to 5. We just use normal office hours, so we don't do shift patterns. So you end up leaving off your shift patterns. Well, you're going to be resubmitting your work then at some point in the future. If you just do normal office hours, 9 to 5, put that. Don't leave it off. Just imagine that that is a separate line, and it's got to have a tick in it. You've got to be able to put a tick in the check sheet before you submit your work. If we look at the sheet, this is what you're actually going to be writing on. You know, the general description of the organisation, this is the line that we've just been talking about, general description of the organisation. You could be forgiven for thinking that you don't really need to put a hell of a lot on there. But bear in mind, like I just said, what you're expected to do is make sure that you've got all of the things that have been asked for. Another example is the methodology used. So again, just imagine that there's 3 more lines to this, that it includes the sources of information, make sure you can put a tick there, who was consulted, make sure you can put a tick next to that, and how you decided on the additional control measures, make sure you can put a tick next to that. So this is, in summary, the warning I want to give you is that the risk assessment project is very, very difficult now. Or to put it another way, rather than say it's very difficult, I'll say it's very easy to not pass. But I don't personally think it's very difficult to get the pass, as long as you're systematic about making sure that everything that NEBOSH has asked for, which they do spell out on their guidance document if you read it carefully, make sure that everything they ask for, with no exceptions whatsoever, is included in your report, included in your risk assessment. If you do that, there's no reasonable reason why you won't get a pass. So best of luck with it. Don't take your foot off the gas now that the exams are finished. Keep your foot on the gas. Get this risk assessment project nailed and achieve success. Get this qualification. Best of luck. I hope you've got some value out of the video that you've just seen. If so, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel so that you can be alerted to when we produce and upload more videos.